Hello guys, and welcome to another video. In today's episode of Keeping Goals, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own goalkeeper highlight video. This is very important if you want to get into a new team or a new college, and I'm going to be using my very own highlight video which I send to professional clubs as an example. So if you enjoy the video today, please give it a like, it'll really help us out, and if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Keeping Goals. I hope you enjoyed last week's video. I hope you enjoyed coming along and seeing what I'm doing in the off season with my training. It was also great to see so many of you guys in the video showing us what you've been working on during lockdown. If you haven't watched that video, go and give it a watch after this one. But in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own goalkeeper highlights video. Now, a few weeks ago here on Keeping Goals, I showed you how to make a football CV. I told you that if you're looking for a new team, a football CV is very, very important to send to clubs, managers, scouts, directors of football in order to try and get a trial with the team or to get signed. Now, I mentioned in that video that alongside the football CV, it's also very, very important to have and to send a game highlight video. Whether you're trying to play professionally, semi-professionally, or go to a new university or college program, a game highlight is basically your audition tape. You're trying to show coaches what you can do and why they should sign you as a player. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a highlight video, what to include in the highlight video, and how to structure it. And I'll be using my own goalkeeper highlight video as the example in order to help you guys make the best video you possibly can and to get you your next opportunity. Now, first things first, in order to have a good highlight video, you need game footage. As you go through your career, you realize how important it is that you can get your hands on your match footage. Because without match footage, you can't make a highlight video, and without a highlight video, it is very difficult to get new opportunities in football. Now, some of you might be playing for clubs where your matches are always filmed, and that's brilliant. If you are, make sure you ask whoever is filming the game, whether it's your team, the other team, if you can get your hands on a copy of the footage. It's a good idea throughout a season to make little mini highlights of each game so that you have them on your hard drive and you can use them when you need to make a highlight video. Some of you might be playing for teams or clubs where your games aren't filmed. I myself have played for clubs where games are always filmed, and I've also played for clubs where games are never filmed. And when I first found myself in a situation where the games aren't filmed, I went out and I bought a very cheap GoPro camera. The link to the GoPro that I use is in the description below if you want to get one for yourself. I bought a very cheap tripod and I asked whoever was at the game, whether it was my girlfriend, my family, my friends, or one of the coaching staff, to set up that little GoPro and tripod so that it could see the pitch and I could use that game footage. Just because the club doesn't film the games doesn't mean that you can't be proactive in order to get your hands on those match clips. Once you have your match clips, you then need to learn how to edit the highlight video. Now, this is very, very simple. It doesn't need to be complicated at all. You can use free programs such as iMovie or the Windows equivalent where you don't need to spend any money, and all that you need is the capability to cut clips and stick them together. You don't need any music, you don't need any effects. I know you'll have seen some highlight videos which have music over the top. From my experience, especially in professional football, coaches and scouts don't often like music over highlight videos. Especially as a goalkeeper, they want to be able to hear you and hear your communication on the pitch. If you put a distracting soundtrack over the top, not only can they not hear you communicate, but they can get distracted from what is happening on the film. Now, when it comes to the structure of your highlight video, there are a couple of different options. I have a shorter version of my highlight video, around about 6 minutes, which I send to clubs if I'm cold calling them, if I have no contact with them before and I know that they're only going to be able to pay attention to the video for a short amount of time. I also have a longer version of my highlight video, which is around about 14 minutes, which I send to clubs when I have had a bit of interaction with them, they've shown some interest and they want to see a more in-depth viewpoint of me as a player. But this is the video that I'm going to be using as an example. If you make the longer version video, it's then very easy to turn it into the shorter version if you need to. I post my highlight videos on YouTube, either public for everyone to see or unlisted if I want them private and only accessible by the link. This makes it much easier to send the video by just sending the link to a club or a manager or a scout rather than trying to send the full video file. So if we go into my YouTube channel and go through the videos, I'm going to show you the longer version of my highlight video, the one that I send to clubs who are interested in me. Now we're going to get into the highlight video itself and show you how to structure it. So if you see on my highlight video, the first 20 seconds of the video I use to show my best 3 highlights, very quickly, one after another. As you can see here, I've put in 3 really good saves, which I feel will capture the attention of whoever's watching the video. You have to remember that managers, scouts, directors of football, whoever you've sent your video to, often has to watch hundreds of highlight videos in a month. If you don't capture their attention very early on with your video, they'll just switch it off and they won't be able to see you as a player, and you won't get the opportunity at their club. After those first 3 clips, I then have a picture of myself so they know who they're looking for in the video. I have my name, my age, my position. You can also include the club that you're currently playing for or the league that you're currently playing in, your height, your weight if you want to. But bear in mind, the club will have all that information via the football CV that you will have sent in conjunction with this highlight video. After that title slide, my highlight video includes something that's slightly different, something that you probably won't see in many other people's highlight video. I have a very short commentary direct to camera where I explain who I am, where I've played, why I'm getting in contact with them. I know it's not for everyone, some people don't like talking to camera, but I find that it's a very good way of explaining who I am as a person, showing my characteristics as an individual, not just my performance as a goalkeeper. I then get in to the main bulk of the highlight video, my performances on the pitch. The way that I've found most effective in creating a highlight video is to break it down into different areas of my game. So in this highlight video, I have a section on shot stopping, a section on taking crosses, a section on distribution, a section on sweeping, and a section on strength and conditioning. In the description below the video, I then timestamp where each of these sections begin so that coaches can go to the relevant section that they are interested in. So if we see here with the shot stopping section, like I said before, there's no music, no editing, no gimmicks. It's just the action from my performances on the pitch. You obviously want to include your best actions. So within shot stopping, I'm showing the best saves that I've made, times of play where I've had very good positioning, good handling, good footwork. It's not just the save. Obviously, goalkeeper coaches in particular, managers, scouts, will be looking at your whole performances within these clips. So you want to include the best moments where you've performed very well. I've also included footage from training sessions. Now this is good to be able to show different areas of your technique and ability which aren't necessarily shown in a match. Little nuances, different views of your technique, again to enable them to have a further, fuller analysis of you as a goalkeeper. This can help, but it's very important that the majority of your footage comes from match play, because this is what matters to managers and to coaches. I do exactly the same with all the different areas of the highlight video. So with the section on shot stopping, as you saw, the section on crosses, the section on distribution, like here, the section on sweeping, as I feel these 4 sections cover the main different actions of me as a goalkeeper. But within these sections, you also see other elements of my game, like my positioning, my footwork, my communication, my awareness, my reading of the game. But these 4 main areas cover the majority of my actions. Finally, the last section of my video, again something a little bit different that you probably won't see in most highlight videos, is I like to include a little section just on my strength and conditioning training. As we know, football is getting ever more physical, and the focus of a lot of clubs is often the physical capabilities of their players, especially goalkeepers. So in the final part of my highlight video, I include a little bit of training footage from my gym work, showing my performance as an athlete. So the main compound lifts such as squats, deadlifts, bench press, it's not hugely important, no way near as important as the actions on the pitch, but I want to cover all bases with my highlight video and show my capabilities as a player, which includes my athletic ability. In the short version of the highlight video, I wouldn't include the commentary, I wouldn't include the training footage, and I wouldn't include the S&C footage at the end. Those three are all supplementary elements which help scouts or managers or goalkeeper coaches to build a more in-depth view of me as a goalkeeper. Finally, at the end of the video, I'll include my contact details such as my phone number or my email address. These are also included in your football CV, but it's good to include them in your highlight video too, just in case. In the description below the video, as I said, I would include some key details such as my name, my date of birth, my position, my nationality, maybe even my height, my weight, or the club that I'm currently playing for. I would have the time-stamped breakdown of the video so that coaches or managers are able to access whichever part of the video that they are interested in. And I might also include a brief personal description and maybe my personal stats from this season. So that's it, guys. That's how I make my goalkeeper highlight video. I hope it brought you some value. I hope it helps you guys out, especially if you're currently looking for a new team like myself. If you would like to see my full highlight video for whatever reason, please feel free to get in touch. I also want to let you guys know that over on my website, you can purchase a Skype call session with myself where we can go through your game highlight video. I can help you guys with building it personally. I can give you some tips on how to improve it, and I can also give you some advice on who to send it to and how to get a new team. The link to my website is in the description below this video. If you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like, guys. It really helps us out, helps us to reach as many goalkeepers as we possibly can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more Keeping Goals content. This week's patron of the week is James Watt. James, thank you so much for your support. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the support of patrons like yourself. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting Keeping Goals. And as a thank you, here is your Keeping Goals shout out. If you guys would like to become a patron like James and support me and support Keeping Goals further in exchange for loads of benefits, then you can use the link which is in the description. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next Sunday for another episode of Keeping Goals. As always, have a great week, keep chasing improvement, and I'll speak to you in a bit.